Welcome back, everybody. My name is Boston. This is Josh. This is our podcast about movies.
Yeah, this is our podcast
Damn,
about movies. Doesn't even care
damn it.
about the title. Who cares about a title that took us like 5 hours to figure out? Who cares?
Yeah, it was a huge debate to kind of figure out what the title is,
it's AI generated, by the way.
which is obsessed and unimpressed. I do remember it. It takes a minute. It's gonna be,
Yes,
and Josh knows I'm horrible with names. I
he
will
is
get it.
indeed.
I am horrible, but I will get it. We will get it down.
Hmm.
Our intro will be perfect at some point,
At
but
some point,
for right now, it isn't. But welcome back. This is episode 2
episode
of
two, guys. Episode 2.
our podcast about me, a film obsessed fan, and
Hmm.
Josh, who is not.
I
Um,
am not at all.
for those of you that didn't watch the first episode, the premise is we have one big list of movies that we've gone over together that I love that he has not seen,
Exactly.
and um, every week Josh is going to pick a new movie to watch to critique and tell me his thoughts on. And this week's film is Training Day from
Training Day.
director Antoni Fugeya. I probably butchered that name.
Mm,
It is from 2001. Um,
yes.
it stars Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre.
Yes, that was
To
clever. I
name
like
some
that.
names that people, to have some names that people know. Um, and this is a film, the first that we have that has a Oscar win. Josh, can you guess what the
Really?
Oscar is? Can you guess what the Oscar is?
Best action movie?
Best action movie. No, it is best supporting actor, which Denzel won for
Denzel won that.
his role as
Mm,
Alonzo in this
he
movie.
killed it, bro.
Um, um,
He deserved that for
a
that.
couple of things about the director. A lot of hidden bangers. He made a movie called Magnificent Seven, which I think Josh has seen.
Nope.
I might be wrong. Nope.
Nope.
Never mind.
Add it to the list.
But people who
Add it to the list.
I think it's already on the list. I knew there was one Denzel cowboy movie that I had put on the list, but that is one of them. And those who have seen it know how great that movie is. He also did the Equalizer trilogy, which I don't think Josh has seen.
Nope.
So a lot of Denzel stuff,
Mhm.
and then finally he is directing a new Michael Jackson film, starring his nephew,
Oh,
Michael
he's
Jackson's
directing
nephew.
that one?
Yeah, he is directing that. He is
Wow.
directing it, which I'm extremely excited for, and cannot wait for. But let's get into it, Josh. What did you think about Training Day? This is the one I was very excited about you to watch, and I think I brought it up while we were making the list.
Mhm.
It is my favorite Denzel movie. It is without doubt my favorite Denzel movie,
Okay.
and it has not changed. In we're getting close on 25 years since it came out, and it has not changed. It is still, I think, Denzel's best work by far. What did you think about it?
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
No. Oh, you didn't like it.
No, don't
You
love it.
didn't like it. Why didn't you like it?
Well, well.
Man,
Okay.
this is gonna be a good episode.
Okay.
This is gonna be really good.
I seriously disliked like the entire first half.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the Denzel and Ethan, whatever his last name is,
Hawk.
um,
Ethan Hawk.
their two dynamics at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also it's like the way that Denzel came off, just
Mm-hmm.
eh,
It can rub people the wrong way, and that's
and it rubbed
the
me the wrong
biggest
way.
critique I've heard.
Yeah, it rubbed
That
me
is
the
the
wrong
biggest
way.
critique I've heard because you don't know you can't get a good read on him in my
Yeah,
opinion
like
in the
it's
first half of the film.
who he is as a
Right.
character is really hard to
Mm-hmm.
understand for the first half
Right.
of the movie until you
Because I
realize
think
this is just who this
he's
guy
presented
is.
right, right. And I think it's because he is presented as kind of a character that you're supposed to be like, oh, this is the mentor. But everything he's doing is something that you know is wrong. So
Hmm.
you're like, should like will we like I want to root sorry, I want to root for this guy, but he's making it very difficult to do that.
Yeah, and it's really
I
hard.
can't believe you didn't like it.
It's like for me, it's hard to understand the the plot of the movie
Mm-hmm.
until the last 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
cuz it's like
Okay.
you cuz basically the
It
idea,
does hop around a lot. It
yes,
does is very fast.
the
It
opening
is very much.
idea is he gets a new job as
Mm-hmm.
like some detective cop or whatever, gets
Right.
assigned to Denzel, and Denzel
Mm-hmm.
just pulls him through the ringer for an hour, and then
Right. Right.
and
Right.
then it shifts to like him meeting up with his other guys, and then full on going into a house with guns blazing, or basically, and then it shifts again
Mm-hmm.
to just him and Denzel going into the big house
Mm-hmm.
where they live and stuff, or not, sorry, where
Mm-hmm.
the Mexican gang people live,
Right.
and
Right.
then
Right.
you realize, oh, he has a debt that he has to pay for the to the Russians. So
Mm-hmm.
then why Ethan feels the need to take care of this, I don't know. I don't understand why he feels like he needs to be the person to handle this, because he was the guy at the beginning that did things more by the book
Mm-hmm.
and basically was a more basic cop instead of like the way
I
that
can't wait
they
to
acted.
rebuttal this. By the way,
Um, and then
I can't wait.
and then like the end of the movie, it's like, oh, actually, everybody, that whole part of town that Denzel lived in, everybody actually didn't fully like him,
Mm-hmm.
and and then just
I think we're writing this
left him
down.
there to die, basically,
I should have wrote this down.
and then he just gets killed by the Russians,
Right. Right.
and then it's like,
Okay.
why did I sit down to watch like a almost 2.5 hour movie? I know it was about 2 hours.
Mhm.
Why did I sit down and watch a 2 hour movie about of just plot points jumping left, right, left, right, left, right? I don't. It's just not. It just was not for me.
Okay. Um, a lot to unpack there. I wish I wrote notes because I had a rebuttal for every single thing that you said. Uh,
We can go. Okay,
starting with
first point.
starting with the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with the first half. It is designed for you to be in Ethan Hawke's shoes. You shouldn't know what you're doing, and Ethan doesn't know what he's doing.
Exactly. I agree with that.
And that's the point. That's the point of the first half of the movie, is Ethan is trying to figure out what his role is, in relation to Denzel Washington's character, and how confusing it is for him to have to face a character that is so um, off the books,
Mm-hmm.
anti-hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot that he sees that contradicts everything that he knows as a cop that
Yes.
is right,
I mean, he tells him
right?
at the beginning
He
to throw all this stuff
at
he
the
learned at
beginning,
the academy, everything out of the window that he learned
right,
from the academy.
right. You don't know anything. He's telling you don't know anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the first half is very much about a fish out of water. When you boil down the movie, it is a fish out of water story.
Yeah.
It is 100% a fish out of water story, and I think both Ethan Hawke and Denzel play spectacularly as the two leads of the film. I think Denzel is better, but Ethan definitely holds his own, like we were talking about last time with A Few Good Men with Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. I think that Ethan Hawke holds up his own against a titan like Denzel Washington. Um,
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you didn't like um, how like confusing it was in the beginning, which I can understand. It jumps around a lot.
Well,
It
like
very much
I was
is a
confused through the whole movie. Like,
right.
what is the what is the objective? That's what I
Mm-hmm.
was asking the whole movie is what is the objective? Because it went from stopping a little mini drug deal on like
Mm-hmm.
a bad side of town to
Yeah.
straight up like murder the guy that's trying to make a deal or pay a debt with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like
So
what happened?
so Denzel, his character is a corrupt cop,
No way.
right? Hmm? And he went to Vegas, went out casinos, got into a ruffle with some Russian gangsters, um, and eventually got into a $1 million debt to those Russians who said
Mm-hmm.
they were going to kill him if he didn't
Yeah.
get it by the end of the day. The same day that Ethan
Yep.
is supposed to be training by him,
Mm-hmm.
Denzel has to figure out how to get $1 million to this Russian mob.
Yeah.
And all that is already set in stone before Ethan sets in the diner at the beginning of the film. To kind of understand more of his character, again, once you watch it again, you realize that he is under this, like, I'm going to die by the end of the day type pressure. And
Yeah.
he's cool as a cucumber. You can't even tell.
Yeah,
You
like
can't even tell.
which is cool. Like
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
respect that. Like
But
it's
I think as a character, it shows just how far gone he is. He still thinks he's indestructible,
yeah.
that he cannot be stopped.
He
He
says
cannot
it
be
when
stopped.
he's
Yeah,
when Ethan starts to walk away with the money.
yeah, yeah. And we will get to that.
Okay.
Um, but um, I think that also adds into why the day is so confusing, because he's trying to keep Ethan in, like, intoxicated, out of his element, so that he can think clearly about how he's going to pay these Russians, how he's going to get everything figured out, all these problems that he has, how is he going to solve these problems.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but um, at least to boil down the dynamic between the two, Ethan is very much below Denzel in terms of knowledge of the streets,
Mm-hmm.
of how they both do it. And by the end of the movie, Ethan has evolved so much that he is now ahead of Denzel about how to
Mm-hmm.
run it. Because in a single day, he managed to escape from a very dangerous Mexican cartel that Denzel practically owns, right? Because he is a corrupt cop. And he also got an entire neighborhood that Denzel's family lives in to turn against him,
Mm-hmm.
to show just how much better of a character Ethan is to the
Yeah.
people of LA,
You're right.
Um, besides Denzel, it shows a lot about that. But uh, that's the first point. At least with the first half, it is designed to be disorienting.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
100%. It's a bunch of little things. It's a bunch of little crimes to kind of show. Think of them as blank. Each crime is a blank canvas for each character to paint on. How does each character react to the crimes that are committed?
Right.
Right. So I think the first one was um, the Snoop scene. I think it's the Snoop scene.
The first
The
one?
first crime. The
No.
first real crime that they go. What is it? Is it the rape?
Like yeah. No,
Is it the
like
rape? Because
the
I think.
first one is when he goes and parks
Oh, when
under
it.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
tree.
yeah. Okay. So
That's the first one.
right, to catch the call. Yeah. Thank you for
Watched it
catching. I
literally
forgot to
hours
watch
ago.
it. I forgot to watch it, and I really wanted to. I didn't have time.
It's okay.
Um. But first crime is the kids in the car, the college kids in the car that tried to buy weed from one of Denzel's plugs.
Insiders, yeah.
I got insiders, right? Um, as like a, hey, like, I sold these guys drugs, you can take them out.
Yep.
How does each character react to that? What is Ethan doing? Ethan is nervous. He can't hold the gun. He can't watch the kids in the back seat what they're doing, while Denzel is trying to, like, figure out these kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, trying to scare them. Basically, he's not trying to arrest them at all. He's trying to scare them.
Yes.
right?
And it
Kind of
worked.
shows his character, which is clearly these
Very,
kids broke the law.
very
Clearly
aggressive.
these kids broke the law.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel's taking the law into his own hands,
Yes.
right? All right. Uh, then after that, he gives Ethan the drugs that his friend sold to the college kids that he
Mm-hmm.
knew was laced, so that Ethan could basically be like, for everything that he sees that day, could be dismissed because he was on drugs while on duty,
Yeah, it's like it's a whole
which is a genius. It's a genius
it's a
tactic,
genius callback. Yeah.
genius callback. Um, but um, after that, Ethan's on drugs. He's out of his mind. He sees a girl in an alley getting raped,
Mm-hmm.
and what happens? He jumps out,
He just
middle of
gets
traffic,
out of the car.
just books it to this girl trying to help her. What is Denzel doing? He's opening up a pack of smokes and leaning up against the fence while he fights off two guys,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then what happens? He takes his guns and threatens them again. Does he take him to jail? No.
Nope.
Again, putting the law into his own hands,
Yeah.
showing each character and how they see the city of LA and
And
how crime should be dealt
his
with.
his justification for it was like really odd, in my opinion.
So, okay, that's the point. He's supposed to be a flawed character. He's supposed to be. You're not supposed to agree with Denzel, even though you want to, because he's seen as a mentor figure. You're supposed to look up and say, "This is the guy I'm supposed to follow." But everything that you like are seeing, you're like, "This isn't good.
Yeah.
I can't like. How am I supposed to like this?" And it keeps adding up
Exactly.
until eventually it all snaps and and Ethan is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, which is one of the reasons why I love the film so much. Um, what else do you have a problem with? Because I want to dispute every single thing you just said,
Um.
and also because I know a lot of people that love this movie. That I just want to talk to them as well, and maybe change some minds. I'm hoping to change some minds today.
Let's see. His what was it?
His character kind of threw you off, right? Denzel's character.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't love
okay.
it.
So
Don't love it.
I've heard it. I've heard it before. I don't completely disagree. Um, I think it fits the story it's trying to tell. I think he's supposed to be a little bit over the top because he's had years of nobody messing with him, nobody getting in his way, just let basically like a king, living like a king. What happens when a law enforcement officer is met with um, unchallenged authority, which is what Denzel has.
Mm-hmm.
As a character study, that's what you're seeing is a character that has been met with zero repercussions, zero pushback, nothing like that. What happens to a character? And I think you get a character like Denzel from an environment like that, right? Uh, so it can be over the top. There's scenes in it that I think the gun scene after the Ethan catch the rapist is a little bit over the top, just a
Oh,
little
it
bit.
was
When
very,
he's smacking the guns,
very like
and I think I
it's a little
still love it.
much.
I still love it. It's a bit much, but I still love it. And I think I love it because I know it fits the character that Denzel is trying to play. I think it fits very well. So I disagree with you on that. And I think it just gets better as the movie goes on. I think there's parts of it that are definitely over the top, but I think overall it definitely is fitting for a character like Denzel.
Um, explain to me why he went to the house with the Mexican gang.
Why Denzel went?
Why he and Ethan went.
Um, so he's trying to kill Ethan at this point in the film, right? Did you get that?
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Wait, wait, no, no,
No,
no,
no,
no, no.
no.
Wait, do you think that the Mexican cartel was working alone?
It makes sense now that you
Okay,
say it. Now
hold on,
that
hold on,
you
hold on, hold on, hold on,
say it,
hold on, hold on.
it makes sense.
Let me explain.
Yes.
So This happens right after they break into that guy's house to steal his money so that Denzel can pay off the Russians.
Yeah.
What does Ethan do in that situation? He starts passing out the money. Ethan's
Yeah.
like, "No, this is evidence. We can't." Like, what? He's in shock. He's like, "You guys can't be serious,
Yes.
right? You guys can't be serious. Like, we're not taking this money, right?" He's almost laughing at the idea of
Yeah,
taking this much
he
money.
scoffed it off. Yeah.
Right, right. And then they have a scuffle, and Denzel definitely likes him at that point, but he, I think, realizes he can't change him. He can't change Ethan, even though he'd be such a good uh, guy at that position. I think he understands I can't change this kid. He's gonna be like this. I have to figure out how to stop this because, like, guess what's gonna happen is that he's gonna rat on me, and then everything I have is gonna go down the drain before I can fix anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they go to the Mexican's house. He says, "Hang out with these guys for a little bit. I'm gonna go figure out some stuff. I'll be right back." At that point, he had already communicated with the Mexican cartel to say, "Hey, I'm bringing you a guy. Get rid of him." Right? And that is why that whole scene is so stressful the first time you watch it, because you figure it out at the same time Ethan does. It's like something's off. He shouldn't be
Well,
here.
I saw it as, why did he leave?
Okay,
I was
okay.
like,
It's kind of piecing together why you don't like this movie. No, it is the clear first sign of betrayal of the that
okay, I guess that
Denzel
makes
shows
sense.
in it,
That makes sense.
and you get little snippets of he's leading him down this trail to be betrayed. That moment is the first. Oh, Denzel's the bad guy, right?
Yeah,
You kind of
all the more reason why this movie is
it's the
confusing. Like,
you should you kind of know subconsciously that he's the bad guy. That's when the movie is like, hey, that's our guy. That's the guy that we have
yeah.
to. That's the villain, right? So at least with the Mexican scene, that's the first real like crap. How is he gonna get out of this? How because now the odds are completely stacked against him. He has to
Mm-hmm.
fight against four dudes
I mean, he
to try to
technically
get out of
doesn't
it.
win, but the only
He
reason why he
technically
does
doesn't.
win
But
is
what
because
happens?
the only reason why he did win is because he saved that girl in the alley earlier in the movie,
Right,
which
right.
I think that this whole movie only survives because it's based off callbacks. Like,
Okay,
that is the
okay.
only reason
I completely disagree.
Ethan
I completely
won,
disagree. But
because of a callback that he did earlier in the movie. Like, Ethan should have died. Ethan should
uh
have lost. But
right.
because
But I think it
she just
shows
so
that.
happened to be his
Mhm,
cousin,
mhm. I
he
think that
lives.
is. I think that to me, him getting saved because he saved that girl out of instinct, showing that he has good character. In a way, at least in this world, is the city of LA saying that's a good deed. We're not going to let a good deed go to waste. How do we save this guy? It's like, oh, that girl is related to the guy that's about to kill him. Right? That's the city of LA saying this guy should be saved. He's a good guy. He did a good deed. Who should not be wasted. Right? So, you got me. I'm
It's a
excited to
cop
talk
out.
about this
That's all
now.
I hear. It's a cop out.
No, 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 no.
It's a
It's
cop
set up
out.
so early. It's set up
Yes.
so early that you don't
That's
think
why it
about
does
it.
that's why I think it's a cop out, because
Oh,
it's a
stop.
because
This
it
isn't like.
that scene with saving the girl focused
Mhm.
so little on that girl, building no character, building no
Exactly. Exactly.
there's nothing to go off of that. It's
You're
a
not
cop
supposed
out.
to. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be such a little It's supposed to be a moment of hey, Ethan's a good guy. Here's a good deed that he did, and that's it. You kind of remember that in the back of your head, and it's kind of like the movie saying, "Hey, you know this guy's a bad guy. How would you save this guy if you were in this situation?" It's like, oh, the girl, you saw the good deed he did. Let that pay off at the end of the movie, having that be the thing that saves his life because he did something selfless that saved an innocent girl. And you're not supposed to really dig into it. It's supposed to be a little, real quick, in and out type of thing. And it's set up as a focus on Ethan moment that you don't even notice that the girl is important as well. right? And I think everyone falls for that the first time. It's like, oh, like he saved the girl. That's awesome. What a good job, Ethan. And you kind of focus on Ethan while ignoring the girl and her importance in it, which I think comes as such a good like twist in it to kind of say, hey, this he's got new life. Let's see what he does with it,
Eh,
right?
it's a cop out.
So, okay, well, we'll disagree. I love it. I love it. I love it. So next, what happens next? He goes to confront Denzel,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what is he doing? He's enjoying the riches of his victory, enjoying the spoils of victory before his victory is really
Mm-hmm.
determined, right? So in the room with this girl, with the money, right? What does he do? Goes right back to what he knows, manipulating,
Mm-hmm.
right? Ethan points the gun at him. He starts clapping with the money. He says, "Good job, you passed. You passed. You're in the unit, right?" Just trying to manipulate him. At this point, Ethan's like, I know your game. I know the game you're playing."
I mean, he mentions
Like,
the him meeting up with the Russians later that night. So
yeah, yeah,
and that's how Denzel like knows like, okay, he's not here
hmm
to. I'm not gonna win him over. I got to do
yeah,
something.
yeah. Like now I gotta figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
But he is now, and I think this shows great back and forth character developments about how does Denzel react in the face of like there's no winning this,
Mm-hmm.
right? He knows that the gun's on him. He's now unarmed. He gave him all his guns. How he's gonna solve it?
And
How's he gonna solve this?
there just so happens to be a shotgun under the bed.
Of course there is. It's Denzel. How? And again, it's
Not just
Alonzo's
no no
character in
no,
the movie.
not just one sitting
You
under the bed, one mounted to the bed on a ball
that can
joint,
rotate.
so that way he can
Yeah,
rotate it and
yeah.
get that angle.
Why is that the most unbelievable part to you?
Who does that? Who does
A
that?
guy that's a guy that knows he listen. Everybody hates this guy, and I think he knows that. So like, why wouldn't you have a gun everywhere? Why
It's
wouldn't you?
just an unnecessary detail. I would have much rather just the shotgun be sitting on the floor and he just picks it up and boom. But like the fact that it's mounted to the
Oh, you're
bed
nitpicking.
frame,
You're nitpicking.
flips
You are
it, and
nitpicking to a crazy
that's
extent
what this show's about.
with that one.
That's what this show's
Oh, stop
about.
it. Oh, stop. Oh, stop it. Um,
It was just such an unnecessary detail in my opinion. I don't need to go that
okay.
deep into it. Unnecessary
Yeah.
detail.
I don't think you need to go into it all.
Okay.
But okay. Um, but the way that movie ends, um, right back to kind of where it started, which is just a conversation between two cops, right? He knows that Denzel is corrupt. And here's the decision. Do I take him in, let him live, let him dispute everything that I have, or do I leave him and do exactly what Denzel's been doing all movie,
Mm-hmm.
right? As his form of justice to kind of one last like I'm gonna do exactly what you do and show you why that your style of justice does not work,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he leaves Denzel, says you don't deserve this, right, and leaves him
Mm-hmm.
just like Denzel does. As soon as he sees someone commit a crime, he lets him go, right? He scares him, lets him go. What did Ethan do? Scare Denzel, let him go. What happened to Denzel? Gets shot, dies.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful writing, 100%. To show something that was built up the entire movie as here is a guy that thinks that he is above the law, that his personal, I guess, idea of the law is better than the established one.
Right.
How wrong is he? And you really don't get an answer for it until the end, where you see Ethan do it to Denzel, and you see what and why his idea is of justice is so wrong. I think that's incredible. I think that's so good. I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of that movie.
I will
Um,
say like the ending
I want you to watch
like
it again, knowing that the Mexican cartel is working for Denzel. I want you to that Denzel set that up
no
because it changes that whole scene. That
well no
changes that whole
I
scene.
get it now. I understand it. and I see it.
I
I
wish you knew that the first time. That scene is so good. I'm sweating. That scene made me sweat
well,
profusely.
it's just like,
When he's in the tub, when they got him face down in the tub, and
well, I
he's like,
expected
move the
Ethan to
curtain. I'll
die
say
there, so I was like,
exactly. You
well,
expect it. You're like, is this what Denzel's gonna win? It's like because in your head you're like, there's no way there's nothing. You're thinking through your head for the movie you just saw. What has Ethan done that's gonna set up something that saves him, and nothing pops in your head for what can save him until you see the guy check his wallet and say, "Oh wait, she gave him her ID. He
no,
has
she
that,
didn't give her ID. He picked it
like
up
a
off the
picture."
ground.
No, he had. Yeah,
He picked the
yeah,
wallet up off the
but
ground.
he had it.
Uh
He had it.
huh. But going back to the ending, real quick,
Mhm. Mhm.
I do like the character development of the town, the part of the area that he lives in,
Right.
because it,
Finally having the courage to stand up to a guy like Denzel, who is
yeah,
corrupt.
like I did like that touch.
Mhm.
I don't think that there's any way that they could have done it better because it was because you only see him that side of town like twice
Yeah,
when he's
twice.
running the place and when he's not running the place. So
Mhm.
when he's running the place, everybody knows him, likes him, agrees with him, and then when he's not running the place,
Mhm.
everybody dislikes him and gives him the cold shoulder. So it's a
Right.
really strange dynamic to walk into as a viewer. Like it's not jarring, but it's like
Mhm.
it's just like okay, I the only other time I saw you was agreeing with this guy, but because Ethan wins on
Mhm.
against Danzel, it's not it's more palatable. So I'm
Mhm.
okay with it. But it's just something I noticed where I was like, hey, now everybody hates him. Got it.
Got it.
Um, but the like ending of the movie, like where he just goes home
Mhm.
and that's
While the
it.
radio's playing, basically saying exactly what Denzel told Ethan would happen to him.
Yes,
It's like here, like
that was a
he
nice
is
touch.
survived
I'll say that's a
by
nice
his
touch.
wife and his young child. Beautiful.
I would say
It.
that is a nice touch. I like that.
I
Um,
love that movie.
I would
I
have
love that
liked
movie.
me personally a I would have much rather the scene end on like Ethan walking in, turning off the radio, and sitting there with
Mhm.
his wife and his baby because he gloats about it the whole movie, but we only
Mhm.
see his wife and his baby at the for 5 minutes at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would, in my opinion, would have been a little touch of flavor at the end that I
Little touch. Little touch. I
appreciated.
like the letting you kind of decide how the film's gonna end because tomorrow's still gonna happen. How's tomorrow gonna go? Is he gonna get blamed for Denzel's death? Is the money enough evidence to clear him of any wrongdoing? Like what's gonna happen? Because there's still Denzel still has those guys that like follow his like every move, like his every order.
Mm-hmm.
Like what are those guys gonna say? It kind of leaves you like kind of guessing for yourself how the movie's really gonna end
Yeah,
or how that story's gonna end, which I think is perfect for a movie that
I like those kind
isn't
of
supposed to be good.
I do like those kind of concepts
Right.
of movies of like
I don't think it's a movie that should have closure. I don't think you should feel good at the end of it. It's not a film you should feel good at the end of, but it's a film I think you could at the end of be like, that was a really good movie. Which I guess unfortunately you you didn't think that.
I can okay, I can look at it and understand why people like it. Like
Right.
I give it respect because
Mhm.
it is like by definition a good movie.
Mhm.
But for the eye of the beholder, me, I don't see it that same way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think you were gonna love every movie that I put on there, and I definitely was excited to kind of show you why I love the movies
Yeah.
that I picked. And I think to boil down why I love this movie, it's because it is a movie about good versus evil,
Yeah.
and how do those two play when they're put on the same side?
Yeah.
How do those two kind of get along on the same side? And who's going to win? Who's going to win good versus evil when you're both fighting for quote unquote the same team,
Mhm.
right? And I love that despite how evil the city is the whole time, Ethan is that shining beacon of hope of like there's still good in the city that, I'm protecting. I have to protect it,
Mhm.
right? Which I love. I love it. And, not to say anything about how damn good Denzel is that movie in that movie, because he is by far the best part of that movie, in my opinion. And it's part of the reason why he won Best Actor. It's part of the reason why after that his roles drastically changed from the movies he made before, like Glory, um, and others. But um, I don't know. I think it's an outstanding film. I think it is um, one of the best cop films ever made. Um, and I can't get enough of it.
I find that really interesting, bro, cuz
Hmm.
I have
I tell you,
no
I'll watch it with you. I'll watch it with you, and I'll kind of what because
why.
I love this movie so much, and I want you to love it. That's all.
I
Like,
have no desire to
um,
pick it back up again.
okay. Well, at some point we'll watch this. But
You're gonna like invite me over or something and like lead me
yeah,
into a trap,
but
and then
yo,
I'm gonna
let's
have to sit down and
the
watch it.
like the cartel, like the Mexican cartel. That's
Ah,
exactly what I'm gonna
yes,
do.
yes. You're
Like,
gonna
yeah,
somehow find a way out of the
but
house and
yeah,
somehow
he
just
lets you watch.
leave
Now
without
we watch
him
Training Day essay.
hearing. Yeah, you know.
Now we watch Training Day essay. You
Yes.
stuck here with me. We watching Training Day.
You know. Okay. I
But
will say I do like the fact that they fit it all into a day. I find that cool. I did like that.
yes,
I did
that
like
is
that.
cool.
That was a
That's cool.
cool
That is cool.
touch because you can see it all throughout the day. The lighting changes throughout the day, really
Mm,
early in the
mm,
morning to midnight, and I like that.
yeah,
That was cool.
yeah, yeah. All right. So rankings. We still haven't figured it out
Nope, it's still
how to
broke.
do it. It is still broke, but we will figure it out at some point. But um, I'll let Josh open up how we're gonna rank this. A, B, C, D, and F.
Yes, we
Where you put this
have
film?
a tier maker. We do
We
have
have
a
a
tier
tier maker,
maker.
which will
Um,
be in post. I think you'll see it on the screen, so we
yeah,
won't. It won't be just us talking.
yes, it won't just
You'll
be
get to
us
see it.
talking. You'll be able to see it. But I'm going to give this one a C.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
Give this
All
guy
right.
a C because I can
Give
give
this
it
guy C.
I can give it respect. Like
Mm-hmm.
the acting is good. The way
Mm-hmm.
the way that Denzel portrays his character is good. I just don't like his character. Like
Okay.
in I think Ethan's character is good. It's just he's just as confused as I am the whole time. So I can respect it. Um Everybody else I think did a good job.
Mhm.
I think it was freaking hilarious that Snoop is in a wheelchair. Um
Isn't that great?
yeah, so
Isn't that
that
great?
was a funny touch.
I
But
think
I
having
just
Dre in it for no reason was great.
yes, for no reason. He was just there.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm confused the whole time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what the objective is until the last 30 minutes. Like in the last 30 minutes I figure out exactly who the bad guy is, exactly what we need to do, and exactly like how we got to do it in the last 30 minutes
Mm-hmm.
of the movie. And I'm just like, okay, I sat here for an hour and a half confused on what the heck this movie is about.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, like there's good properties. It's just I don't Don't love it. Don't love it.
Okay.
Don't love it.
Okay. Okay. Well, this is a solid A for me. Hands down. It's one of my
What?
favorite Denzel movies ever. It's
Okay.
a outstandingly surprising film. Every time I watch it, I learn something new I didn't see the first time. Um, it's very well written. I think it's one of a. It's a very very well put together film. I can't get enough of the dynamic between Ethan and Denzel and how they both kind of bounce off of each other. Um, I think the directing is great. I think all the acting is good in it. I can't think of a single performance that I didn't think was genuine in the film, or that kind of took me out of it. Even though Dre being in it was very strange, I think he did a good job in it.
Yeah.
Snoop is awesome as a handicapped drug dealer. That I think is great. Um,
It was in his
I would
contract. He
give this
couldn't
a
walk
solid.
for on that movie.
He could, yeah. He
It,
said, "I want to sit down.
I don't
I
want
want
to
to
sit
sit
down.
down.
I don't want
I
to
don't
get
want to do anything."
up.
Yeah. But this is a solid A. This is a solid A, and I think it's gonna stay a solid A despite Josh's absurd C.
I just,
uh,
yeah, I don't know, man. I can't see it that high.
you can't win them all, and I didn't expect you to love them all, and this one is just a shock to me. This is a shock. I would have never guessed that you would not have liked this movie,
Oh,
but
sorry for that, I guess. um,
I think that is it for us
that
here.
is it for us.
Um, we will try to get the graphics fixed. To I mean, Josh, I feel like my dad whenever we talk about
Yeah.
anything electronic. I know nothing and he knows everything. Um, we'll try to get that fixed.
Yeah, well,
But
maybe. I don't know. Maybe I just don't care.
maybe at some point,
Maybe I just don't care.
but hopefully
Maybe I
soon,
just don't. Hopefully.
hopefully soon. But I think that's it for us.
Yes,
Thank you
indeed.
guys for
Indeed.
watching episode 2.
Episode 2, baby.
Episode 2 in, baby.
2 in.
Um,
Let us know what you guys want to see if I haven't seen it already.
hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We got to pause.
Okay.
Come here. Come on. I do have a border collie. This is Lando. This is my adorable
Lando.
dog
Shout
Lando.
out Lando.
Uh, sorry for the pause. I got interrupted.
No,
No,
it's
don't smell
okay.
the mic.
Smell the mic. Do it. It'll get us clicks.
It will get us clicks. Lando, you will get us clicks.
Lando, you will be the reason we make money off of this.
Yes, and he's so confused. You're so confused.
But yeah, guys, let us know what you guys want to see. If I have seen it, you're gonna get banned. So be careful with what you comment.
It will.
If you
And,
haven't
we will fix-
subscribed
yeah.
or anything like that on whatever platform you're watching or listening this, because I have no idea what this is gonna be on. But
We
subscribe,
have no
follow,
clue. We'll figure it
like,
out.
do all the things.
And we will see you next week.
We'll see you next week, guys.
All right. Peace. Be safe, y'all.